All right. Today we're covering the physical geography of Southwest Asia. So we have covered 2 sessions in the class. We've started by mentioning the most important mountains and plateaus in Southwest Asia. Who can tell me what are the most important mountains and plateaus in Southwest Asia? Judy, go ahead.
The Antlian Plateau,
Yes.
Hindu Kush Mountain,
Mhm.
with the highest peak in the Turks, that is Amarata.
Yes.
Is Khyber? لا.
No, no.
That's what I know.
Yes. Okay, who can continue? Hannah, go ahead.
Hindu Kush.
The Hindu Kush mountain range and the Antlian Plateau. What else? And Judy has mentioned the Arat highest peak mountain and
The Arab Peninsula.
yes, the Arabian Peninsula. Yes, and
Visit Plateau.
sorry.
Visit.
Yes, يا كنزي. Hannah Durgam.
Miss, I said the Visit Plateau.
All right, Hannah Durgam, continue.
The Vast Plateau and the Antlian Plateau.
Antlian Plateau and the Vasta Plateau, which covers much of Iran, huh?
And the Arabian Peninsula.
The Arabian Peninsula.
Uh,
I guess these are the most important landform or the most important mountains that covers Southwest Asia. What about the bodies of water? Who can mention the bodies of water? Lujina? Luji?
Miss, we say the Khyber Pass.
Wait a minute, ya Kinzi. Yes, we'll talk about it later.
Mediterranean, Caspian Sea, Red Sea, Wadi, Arabian Sea, and the Black Sea.
A wadi is not a body of water, but yes, all of the mentioned, the Mediterranean Sea, the Red Sea, the Dead Sea, the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea, all of these has coasts on Southwest Asia.
Suez Canal and the Hormuz.
Fadia, what are you saying?
I was saying below Suez Canal and
yes, the Suez Canal is a very important.
And Hormuz.
And the Arabian Peninsula too. All right, what about the importance of the Khyber Pass? Who can tell you about the importance of the Khyber Pass? Okay, let's see. Who didn't answer? Reem, go ahead.
It allows invaders and traders to pass through these openings. اللي هو Khyber Pass between Afghanistan and Pakistan.
And it's a very important
trade route.
Yes, a very important trade route at the same time. We forgot to mention something in the bodies of water. Beside the Dead Sea and the Caspian Sea, we still have something we didn't mention yet. Anyone remember it? Who can tell me the
canals?
Sorry?
Canal.
The Suez Canal was already mentioned. Who can tell me the definition of the alluvial plain? Alluvial plain. Yes, Kinzi.
Is a plain created by sediment deposed during the floods.
All right. We said that the Dead Sea, which lies between Israel and Jordan, is also a landlock. What does it mean, the word landlock? Hannah Durgam, what does it mean, the word landlock?
It is smaller than the region other seats.
And what about the surroundings? Fatia?
Yes.
The landlocked, the definition of a landlocked.
Surrounded by يعني land between Land, yeah. It looks like a land.
It's a land, but what's wrong with it? Usama? Usama?
A piece of land that's surrounded by water from each side.
Surrounded by water, or it's not surrounded by water?
Not surrounded.
Not surrounded by water. Okay, you can tell me about the most important desert in the area? Hannah Hamdi?
The Arabian Desert.
Yes.
Arabian Desert.
Okay, the Arabian Desert is one of the most important landscape, and it's spread across most of the Southwest Asia. Although it is the largest in the region, and also it's one of the largest in the world, which has a very rocky plateaus and unbroken expanses of sand. Inside the Arabian Desert, although it's a harsh environment, but plants can thrive there in an area, which is called oasis. Who can tell me the definition of an oasis? Rashwan, what's the definition of an oasis?
It's a land that has regularly water available.
Yes, and we can do what inside the oasis because of regular water?
Allow plants to grow through the year.
Yes, thank you very much. We can grow plants inside the oasis. Also, it's in the desert, but it has a source of water, whatever بقى. It's around the dry area, whatever the source of water, even if it's underground water. We also yesterday compared between 3 different climate zones. What are the climate zones found in Southwest Asia? Maya, the first one is?
The arid region.
Yes, it's an arid region. Can you tell me what kind of a weather you can find in an arid region? In an arid region?
It's surrounded by seas and gulfs. Water is very scarce resource here, and most of the region falls within an arid or very dry climate zone, and desert areas that receive less than 10 inches of annual rainfall cover nearly the entire Arabian Peninsula, as well as large parts of Iran.
Yes, this is the first region. Actually, we have an arid region. It's surrounded by seas and gulfs. So although water is a scarce resource here, and most of the region, although within an arid or very dry climate zone. So it's a very dry climate zone. It has deserts. It receives very less than 10 inches of rainfall, but actually it has the entire Arabian Peninsula as well as large parts of Iran. This desert is a part band of an arid lands, but actually it has very hot summer and the temperature is very high. So we can summarize the arid region to different points. The first one, it's surrounded by seas and gulfs. Water is scarce. Rainfall is very little. It is very dry area. The temperature is very high and the summer is very, very hot, and especially in the Arabian Desert. We have the second climate zone, which is Luji, the second climate zone.
The Mediterranean.
The semi-arid, then the Mediterranean climate zone.
Okay.
Mention بقى what's about the semi-arid.
اللي هي okay, somewhere dry.
Yes.
Were found in mountain ranges and highlands.
Yes, thank you very much, Yaluji. We forgot to say that if you would like, if there is a water through the arid region, it will be found in wadis. What's the definition of a wadi? The definition of wadi, Kinsey?
Stream beds that are dry.
Yes, stream beds that are dry. Then Luji mentioned the semi-arid, which is somewhat dry, and it's found in highlands or in mountain ranges of the region. Then the third climate zone is the Judy?
The Mediterranean climate.
Yes, the Mediterranean climate. Can you tell us what kind of a climate and where it's found?
It's found in Southwest Asia, Mediterranean and Aegean coasts, and across much of Western Turkey.
Its winds blowing off the seas bring mild temperatures and moderate amounts of rainfall during the winter months. The summer months are warm and dry.
So the Mediterranean areas of eastern Turkey and western Iran and central Afghanistan have continental climate. What does it mean, the continental climate? It's actually vary between summer and winter. The mountains in the Hindu Kush ranges, far eastern Afghanistan fall within the highland climate zone, and glaciers are found among the swelling peaks. So you'll find summer and winter climate, and you'll find that in the mountains of the Hindu Kush range, you'll find some glaciers, or it's considered the highland climate zone. That's what we have covered in the last two sessions. Today, we're talking about the natural resources of Southwest Asia. Who can tell me how do natural resources influence the life of people in South Asia? How? Who can tell me the most important natural resources, or how are they are depending on resources there? Can I start reading? Hannah Hamdi?
Okay. Scarcity of water has shaped this region's human history and settlement patterns. Other natural resources, however, are found in abundance. The most important resources are two fossil fuels for which the world has seemingly unquenchable thirst: oil and natural gas. Must I continue?
Wait a minute. So the most important resources there are the fossil fuels, which provide us with oil and natural gas. So this is number one to be highlighted here. If we're talking about the natural resources, we said that they have scarce sources of water. So it has shaped the human history, but they have very rich resources, which are the fossil fuels, which consist of oil and natural gas. Continue, Hannah.
The gaseous form of petroleum is called natural gas, and the liquid form is called crude oil or simply oil. Crude oil is refined to produce energy resources such as gasoline, diesel fuel, heating oil, and industrial fuel oil. Petroleum is also the basic raw material used to make many other products such as plastics, bicycle tires, and cloth fibers.
Okay, so we are using the natural gas and the oil, and they are using, or the petroleum is a very basic raw material in order to have some products such as plastic, bicycle tires, and clothes and fibers. Thank you, Hannah. Reem, can you continue? The world's largest.
Okay. The world's largest known deposits of petroleum are in Southwest Asia. Most are concentrated around the around and under the Persian Gulf. Together, 5 countries that border the Gulf: Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, and United Arab Emirates, hold more than half the oil that has been discovered in the world. Most of the
part, wait a minute, Salim. Here in this part, still stressing that Southeast Asia has the most important source of energy, which is actually natural resource, which is the oil, which is concentrated in 5 countries, which are called border of Gulf: Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, and United Arab Emirates. They are holding more than half of the oil, which will be considered very important source of income later on. Continue, Yarim.
Okay. Most of the petroleum produced by these countries is exported to industrialized countries. Petroleum revenues have brought tremendous wealth to few people in the exporting countries, but only in a relatively few areas has the wealth been used to improve the lives of the people to bring about modernization.
Modernization. Wait a minute, Yarim. So we said that if you have oil, it's a very important source of income. How did, in question number 1, what are the countries that hold more than half of the oil? Who can tell me? What are the countries that hold more than half of the oil? Yusuf? Yusuf? Ali Shem? Guys, I'm gonna take the attendance by answering the questions, by the way. Ali Shem?
Yes.
Can you tell me the names of the countries that are holding half of the oil in Southeast Asia?
Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, and United Arab Emirates.
Yes, thank you very much. They are holding more than half of the oil that has been discovered in the whole world. How did discovering this oil affected the life of these countries? Who can tell me? How did it affect the lives of these countries? Maya? Maya?
So I thought I was unmuted. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
And most of the petroleum produced by these countries is exported to industrialized countries. Petroleum revenues have brought tremendous wealth to a few people in the exporting countries, but only in a relatively few areas has the wealth been used to improve the lives of people or bring about modernization.
Yeah, so it brings modernization to these countries, and they are using as a source of income because most of them are exported. Okay, thank you, Amaya. Who can continue reading? Let me see. Hannah Dorgam, continue.
So, Southwest Asia also had a great variety of mineral resources. Large coal deposits are found in Turkey and Iran. Phosphates used to make fertilizer are mined in Iraq and Israel and Syria between 2006 and 2010. American geologists conducting a survey of Afghanistan
Afghanistan.
discovered enormous deposits of iron, copper, gold, and cobalt and lithium and other minerals such as rare earth elements used to make electronic devices.
So although they have half of the word oil, but they have also other mineral resources. Who can explain the mineral resources that are found in Southwest Asia? Hala? Hala Tariq?
Yes.
Can you tell us about the mineral resource?
Mineral resources.
Yes. That are found in Southwest Asia. They have found what?
They have found large coal. It's in Turkey and Iran.
So this is
Phosphates.
coal deposits, number one. Huh? Number two?
Phosphates used to make fertilizers are mined in Iraq, Israel.
Phosphates, which is made which is used to make fertilizers. It's found in Iraq, Israel, and Syria. Then continue.
Between 2006 and 2010, the American oil gas conducted a survey of Afghanistan, discovered enormous deposits of iron, copper, gold, cobalt, lithium, and other minerals such as rare earth elements used to make electronic devices.
So we also have a very important minerals such as, which are mined, such as iron, copper, gold, cobalt, lithium, and other minerals such as rare earth elements, which are used to make electronic devices. These are the most important elements or the most important minerals that are found there. This is the end of the lesson, guys. Anyone want to ask any question about this lesson? We have finished the lesson. Anyone has any question about the lesson? All right. Next time, inshallah, our session will be online on Thursday. Please prepare your practice book because we're going to be answering the question of the practice book together, which will be homework also, but we're going to discuss it together. Then you're going to do it as homework and send it to me on SMS. Anyone has any question about the lesson? Is it clear for you? Okay, guys.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. See you next session, inshallah. Bye.
Bye.